I watched a hardware store go silent when a woman in a designer dress asked for help building a crib. Then she explained why she was building it alone. She walked into the store on a Saturday morning wearing a silk blouse and heels that clicked on the concrete floor. Full makeup, wedding ring, the kind of woman who looked like she'd never touched a power tool in her life. Every guy in the building tools aisle turned to watch her. Not rudely, just confused, like seeing a flamingo in a parking lot. She stopped in front of the lumber section and stared at the wood like she was trying to solve a math problem. Then she pulled out a folded piece of paper from her purse and compared it to the boards in front of her. A sales associate named Terrell walked over. "Can I help you find something?" She nodded. "I need to build a crib." He blinked. "Do you want to buy a crib or no? Build one. My husband started it." She unfolded the paper. It was a hand-drawn blueprint on graph paper. Detailed measurements, notes in the margins in a different handwriting than hers. She pointed at it. "He got this far before." She stopped. "Before what?" The question came from a woman behind me in line at the key cutting station. She'd been listening. The woman in the silk blouse looked at the blueprint for a long moment. "Before he died, 3 weeks ago. Pancreatic cancer. He was diagnosed in January and gone by April." The store got very quiet. Terrell set down his scanner. He wanted to build the crib himself. She traced a note in the margin with her finger. "This part says, use the sander twice because the baby will chew on the rails." He thought about things like that. Details that would matter 8 months from now when she starts teething. A man in a flannel shirt, 2 aisles over, took off his hat. The woman continued. "He bought all the wood the week after we found out the gender. Cut most of the pieces in the garage. He had the frame half assembled before the second round of chemo knocked him flat." She folded the blueprint carefully. "He made me promise I'd finish it. I told him I didn't know how, and he said that's what YouTube is for." She almost smiled. "I've watched 47 tutorial videos. I still don't know what a dado joint is." Terrell took the blueprint gently. "Can I look at this?" She handed it over. He studied it, then called over 2 other employees. They gathered around the paper like surgeons reviewing scans. "These are good measurements," one of them said. "Your husband knew what he was doing." The woman's composure cracked just slightly. "He was an engineer. Built everything himself. Our bookshelves, the kitchen island. He was building the crib because he said his daughter deserved something her father made with his hands, even if he wouldn't be there to see her use it." A woman near the paint section started crying. Terrell looked at the blueprint, then at the woman. "What time do you need this done by?" She looked confused. "Excuse me, what's your due date?" "August 19th. He nodded and turned to the 2 employees. "Clear my lunch." And he looked at the man in the flannel hat. "You know dados." The man put his hat back on. "I've been woodworking 30 years. A third customer stepped forward. "Retired carpenter. Haven't built anything in a while, but I can still read a blueprint." Within 10 minutes, 7 people had gathered around a workbench in the back of the store. Terrell had photocopied the blueprint. The retired carpenter was sorting lumber. The flannel hat man was setting up the table saw. Someone brought coffee from the break room. The woman stood there, watching strangers build her dead husband's crib from his handwriting. She held the original blueprint against her chest. A teenage employee who'd been stocking shelves walked over and handed her a bottle of water without saying anything. She took it. By closing time, they had the frame assembled, and every piece sanded twice, because the baby will chew on the rails. They loaded it into her SUV wrapped in moving blankets. Terrell handed her a card. "We'll finish the rest next Saturday. Same time." The woman looked at the card, then at the 7 strangers who'd spent their day building something for a man they never met. She said thank you, but her voice didn't make it past the first word. She drove away, and the parking lot stayed quiet for a long time. Terrell went back inside and taped the photocopied blueprint to the wall behind the register. Someone asked why. He said because that man drew those plans, knowing he'd never see them finished. "The least we can do is remember he tried."